We have coffee for your coughing fit.
Oh. You got to organize your drink situation.
Rio doesn't like it when I'm organized.
No, I like the chaos. I do not like the chaos.
I do not like the chaos.
No,
Don't
I
let him fool
don't.
you. He loves the chaos. But
I like creating the chaos.
yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
I don't like being in the other people's chaos.
Yeah.
like bugging
How does it feel?
I don't like this.
I like bugging people by calling it chaos.
Chaos.
Ooh.
Isn't chaos the thing from Sonic the Hedgehog?
Chows.
Chaos.
Chaos. You get the chows. You grow them in a little bean or egg.
Chow.
Egg. Yeah.
Huevos.
Eggs. Isn't Sonic one of your favorite games?
Actually, Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Yeah.
I always add like an extra word. Somebody tell me which one doesn't belong. But that
Sonic.
game. It's hilarious. No, that game, like, talk about like music that brings me back to like early 2000. I am a child again. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
You're still
A youngin, and nothing matters. Life,
Sure.
like life responsibilities. Yeah. Things are good.
Yeah.
And that song. Oh my gosh. All of the songs.
We all have that era. For me, it's the mid 80s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I choose to remember that everything was good, even if it wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the stuff that
We have
sticks
to,
with me
right?
was good.
Right.
Mhm.
It's all perception
Hopefully.
because less responsibility. All you got to do, you don't have to worry about anything other than what are you going to do when you get home from school. Like that was basically it.
No, my brother and I had discovered D&D.
Oh,
You know, we had let Dungeons and
Playboy.
Dragons we had let Gary Gygax into our lives, you know.
well, praise be.
We'd accepted and polyhedral dice.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Nice.
pretty soon after Nintendo.
Polyhedral dice.
Yeah.
Is that just more than?
Just one. Yeah. Multiple sided.
Aren't they all?
It's more hedrals.
Sure.
There's polyhedrals.
Sure.
If you cast
sure.
polyhedral on somebody, they turn into a dice.
Oh my God, that's amazing. I would love that.
Please turn me into a dice.
Yeah.
I always lay on 20.
You're always purposeful.
Yeah. You know, they make dice that are perfectly like, I guess they did some kind of like scientific calculation to figure out like how the disbursement of numbers is most equal. So the 20 is not opposite of the 1. It's like here and like it's
because
weird.
of the cutout that each number forms
that's
or
it.
whatever, like the
Oh.
loss of mass.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
that's
crazy.
lovely.
Yeah.
Everything is right in the world.
Yeah. When you have polyhedral dice
Yeah.
that are evenly balanced.
Mhm.
You guys would like that because like
You like that, huh?
it looks like chaos, but it's completely ordered.
It's
It's
science,
balanced.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
like
that's
that.
for you guys there.
That's not
Mhm.
chaos. That's
It's
numbers.
chaos.
That's my
Chaos.
Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No.
just kind of a preview is that we are talking about games today. Not that we don't ever talk about games before, but
Yeah.
you know,
Inspiration from games in
Inspiration
terms
from
of
games.
world building specifically.
yeah,
So
just great. You know what? In last episode, I don't think we introduced ourselves at the beginning.
Oh,
I don't remember doing that. Like we're halfway through. I'm like, I'm not going to introduce us now.
yeah.
But-
people might not know who we are. So
Yeah,
I'm Usger.
I'm Rio.
I'm Kate.
And we are Bards and Balladeers
Balladeers.
podcast.
We're Bards and
there's a
Balladeers
podcast. I thought we we're
podcast.
just Balladeers.
No, that's
Or-
taken.
But yes, Bards and Balladeers podcast is taken by us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one else.
We take ourselves all the time.
So if we fail and burn and everything, no one else is going to have the luxury or benefit of using this name. So take that, internet.
Ah.
The only time I burn when I fail is when I fail at sunscreen. So
I was going to say when you eat chili, but
fair point.
yeah.
Mhm.
No.
Counterpoint. We're playing pickleball.
Oh God.
You ever see vilification tennis over at Renfest? They don't
Actually,
have it
no.
anymore.
I didn't see it when it was a thing.
Yeah. Oh, it was
and
fantastic.
then it
Good
disappeared
time.
and went
Yeah.
to like Convergence or something like that.
Is that what happened?
It did for a while, and then I don't know what happened to it after. I stopped going to Convergence. So
No, because they wouldn't let us in.
I think I got to experience it like the last year they
Yeah.
had it. And me being a dummy.
Volunteered.
Yeah. Well, no, they were like, who hasn't been to vilification tennis
Mm.
before?
and you're like,
I was like, me.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here. And
That-
they were like, you come here.
yeah, that would normally be me, and I've tried to learn.
Mhm.
Just keep your mouth shut, keep your
Yeah.
hands
Mhm.
down, don't volunteer things
Mhm.
because these people like this will burn that out of you.
Yes.
So there
Yeah.
you go with that. But no, speaking of things, looking back on days of wonder and naivete and all that, like you can sort of feel, I sort of feel like, it's getting on towards fall now. And like, obviously we're filming this before it comes out. So it's probably fully fall now. I don't know.
Are the leaves changing? Let's look. I mean, there's not a window behind it.
Look, it's a nice fall color back here.
Yes.
That's how you know.
This is Minnesota fall.
Yeah.
Brown.
And we're kind of wearing earth tones.
Yeah. We actually are.
Gray.
Accidentally.
Excellent. Yeah. It's good. Okay. You guys look great.
Uses more of a winter feel, but you're more of a winter soldier over here.
I'll take it. She'd love that.
I would.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm the dirty snow that you see when you in the winter.
Snow, gray snow.
Gray snow. Not yellow snow.
Yeah. No, that's spring.
Yes. Go away, snow.
You're like digging through that the snow's melting. You're like, oh, it got to a yellow layer.
It's lemon flavored.
I've never tasted it, but I'm glad that you
My
did
taste
it, so I don't have to.
Are refined. They are.
It's Mario's favorite flavor, snow cone.
Yeah. Pea flavor.
Yellow flavor. No. Yellow flavor.
Okay. Yellow.
Yeah.
Sure, it's lemon. Sure, it's much like lemon.
Yeah. Don't look up lemon party on the internet either.
Oh.
But yeah, like. Okay, I won't.
Yes.
I'll just do it.
Do yourself a favor.
I'll do it on your tablet when you go to the bathroom.
It's already there. Here's a hot. There's a.
Did you call it a tableau?
It's a tablet.
Yeah.
Tableau.
Sorry, no. There's no. It's so dumb.
Tableau.
One, it used to be like our analytics thing at work.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. I've seen job listings. Not that I'm looking for a job.
Anybody?
I've seen listings that mention like, no, if you use Tableau or whatever.
Yeah. And
not Tableau.
He said that.
Yes, I did.
He's on record.
Oh, I have no shame. Like, what are you gonna? What is anybody gonna do? Make fun of me?
I'm the Winter Soldier.
I can take anything. My big big arm. It's right arm. No, left arm.
I think it's his left arm.
Yeah, left arm. Yeah.
No idea what they're talking about.
It's his
the Winter Soldier.
Arm is gone. Yeah. Cut it off.
Cool.
It was cut off and then replaced by vibranium arm at one point.
Chainsaw. Oh,
it should have been a chainsaw.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine Bucky with a chainsaw arm?
Like, I'm sure there's art. If I Google that right now, there's somebody. It's probably like a mashup. He's cosplaying as Ash from like,
funny.
Evil Dead. Yeah.
I just imagine him as like one of those like, what are they in Alaska? They put on the shows, the lumberjack shows, and they do like the bear carving of the wood. I don't know why.
Wow.
He just punches it out.
Yeah.
That sounds like an anime. Just punch out a statue.
Yeah.
There's a One Punch anime.
I seem to recall that. I never watched it.
Yeah. It's basically like a commentary on like Superman. Like what would like a normal, like average person do with like superpowers that tough? Like he literally kills everybody with one hit, except for like one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It takes two.
It actually did. Yeah. But the guy was like a super being from somewhere.
Because what's his thing? 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 miles? Yeah.
100 kilometer run. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how he became.
Yeah. He just did that every day until
One Punch Man.
Yeah.
One Punch Man. Yeah. I don't even know if they call him that. It's Saitama.
Saitama. Yeah.
They don't ever call him One Punch.
We're down the anime rabbit hole once again, guys.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's getting closer to fall, and I feel it coming on. And like it's weird because one of the first ways I feel that coming on is I get more of an urge to play certain games, and like I get more in a gaming mode, I get more in a fantasy sci-fi mode, or I'll start playing like Sid
Meier's Pirates,
Port Royal 2. Oh. No, like I don't play that anymore.
Oh.
The original one was great, but that's like 80s. That would And the one that came out after that,
you got to get DOSBox.
No.
Yeah. No. Emulate it on your computer. It's not the same unless you have like a CRT and like you have Pentium processor.
I played it on a Mac Plus.
Dang.
So that's not compatible with anything, y'all.
No.
Wow.
But no, I noticed like I feel an urge to do RPG stuff or, play whatever, like old Nintendo stuff and it turns out I've talked about this before, not on the podcast, but how I used to deal with fall, like late fall, winter, because I'm sensitive to the sunlight. I'm not saying I have seasonal depression. I don't feel it as depression. Like if I am depressed for other reasons, lack of sunlight will not help.
Sure.
But sunlight, I always respond really positively to that. And, it's really gray here in Minnesota in fall, like late fall, winter. And I was really super bored as a kid. And so the lack of sunlight, and I can't go outside either, one more set of things I can't do.
Yeah.
And I would get through it by sort of going into that sort of fantasy world thing. And like, all the stuff like, reading the Dragonlance Chronicles and, doing RPG stuff and looking at settings that are like that gray winter castle kind of setting, or space sci-fi places that are cold, sure, dark, but filled with like the light of imagination, if you will.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'd get into that. And so like, that's sort of the time when I bust out all the old games and all, like video games, role-playing games, board games, even some card games, like,
we were talking last week a little bit about, like that nostalgia for old games, and also just like remembering when we didn't have responsibilities or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wonder how much of that it also comes into play with just like wanting to relive that a little bit. We go back and play games because we know those feelings that we've attached to those things, and we're just trying to kind of relive them, but not without so much with it. Like you said, the time of year, just it's comforting because we know we're going into hibernation mode a little bit. So let's just kind of like fat themselves up with a good nostalgia. And then
I wrote an essay once called Recapture the Flag, kind of along those lines. But like, and part of it was about how it's hard to do as an adult, because you're trying to do it with other adults who have other adult things going on. When you're a kid, you're just pleased. You're just delighted you get to hang out with your friends.
Right.
And so I tried doing a New Year's Eve slumber party kind of thing.
Yeah.
And adults are so damn fussy. They're just like, I need my quiet and my dark and my space. And, I'm getting hungry and I'm getting kind of upset. And like, wow, I would say you sound like a little kid, but as little kids, we were all just not offensive. Like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We were all like, hey, we get to hang out with our friends all weekend. Right. Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm.
We're not looking this gift horse in the mouth.
Right.
I will sleep when I collapse and on a couch somewhere.
As long as you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're less aware of your needs, I feel like, as a kid.
You don't have to take care of yourself either.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's that you have different needs are a priority as a kid, things that you don't get to do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as adults, you get your space, you get to do what you want, you get to hang out with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
But if you didn't as a kid, then you're going to prioritize that above everything else.
Yeah.
And so,
or just like be by yourself more often. Like, there's more control over that. Sometimes we're just like, no, I don't need to.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So I think it's a prioritization, but also you have different needs,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there is the awareness thing as well. But it's like, I wasn't aware about how much it would suck to sleep over at your house until I got stuck on the couch. That kind of like, I remember, I think some of our guests when I was a kid, because people would stay at my house a lot. They'd be like, can I get the bed? I'm like, no.
Well, you should know this too. As you get older, like you wake up and things just hurt. So sleeping on a couch is not very conducive to.
Yeah. We were all Gumby as kids.
Yeah, but, absolutely. You get sleep contorted in like a little space and you're fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I know like I'd, be at home. There'd be like miraculously, like this happened a couple times where I'd end up with me, my brother, and 3 of my friends. And, a couple of us would be building a role-playing character. One person be playing Nintendo, another person on computer, another person figuring out a board game.
Sure.
All doing kind of separate stuff and having a great time and still bantering back and forth because this is all happening within about a 15 square foot area.
Mm-hmm.
It's community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that's getting in that mental space. Like that, there's so much world building going on, like so much and so many different environments, and just kind of get through the dark winter, like fall and winter times that way.
Sure.
So so games inspired a lot of my creative process, partially just through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Through the community of people being together?
Just not even the community, because a lot of it was by myself, but just burying myself in these settings. It was like, if I couldn't get actual physical daylight, I could imagine it.
Sure.
In all these settings, it's sort of like, it's easy. It's kind of fun for me to write my pirate stories that are set in the Caribbean in the middle of winter. It's like,
it's warm and sunny there.
Yeah. It's bringing sunlight into my brain. It's just not physically hitting my body,
Right.
But some of
placebo effect in a way.
yeah.
Kind of.
But like the best use of it.
Well, visualization is actually very like scientifically effective.
Sure.
And it's like a form of that you wasn't even aware I was doing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I'm sure like intrinsically, just as a human being, just kind of like, you know what you need, and you might have done that just without even thinking, you know?
Yeah. Was my brain needed somewhere to go that was less drab.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything's always sunny in Philadelphia for you. And it's like,
Kind of, it's Minneapolis, but yeah. That nice little part of the country where the Canadian air dips down just long enough to mess with us and then goes back to Canada.
Sure.
It's great.
Where it belongs.
Yeah. Canadians. But I don't know, like, what did you guys have different histories with games and world building. And I know world building is like your least favorite of the things.
But I do admire it so much. I think because it's so challenging, because it's like another layer of depth. I don't know if that's the right phrase for it. That when you go to create something is just, it's almost like there's an expectation that it needs to be there. And then as a creator, like, because you're focusing on, building your characters, building your plot, that world building, it's like, I know it's there. I just know that it's so much work to hash it out. But then once you see it, like looking through last week, as I was looking through those maps, the Atlas of Middle Earth, like just how beautiful it was to see, like it all spelled out, it all laid out in a visual form, and how that world building is still just so needed, as much as, even if more so than the other two. Sorry, there is a fourth one that you mentioned, but it's just at different points they're more important. But as for like the kind of games that have spurred like world building for me, I will say that it's almost like a form of like, I hate saying like fan fiction in a way. I can see it because like there's a game called Nemesis that a board game, excuse me. It's a fantastic like Aliens homage in a way. It did come out after Aliens. I did look this up.
Yeah.
And so truthfully, it might be an homage to it, but I've written out some of the gameplays that we've gone through. Very rarely we win.
Nerd.
So
you wrote out gameplays. I didn't know this.
Oh, well, because it's in a way like it's
building a story in your head.
Yes, absolutely.
I do get it. I just didn't know that.
I'm just gonna call you nerd just because.
Yeah, and call me a nerd too. I am a nerd.
Rightly so. Yeah.
Take that, nerd.
Yeah.
Three fingers are pointing back at myself. Sorry.
Triple nerd. But in a way that makes the world building like, I don't want to say easier, but
you don't have to do that work. Right?
Yeah, it's already hashed out. It's not as taxing, is what I should say. Sure. It's not easier because you still have to put in the work to describe it.
Yeah.
You get some training wheels.
Well said. Yes.
Man, I think you can even get that from like just watching movies and playing video games and everything, because you can at least go, I want a Star Wars like universe. I want a Middle Earth like universe. So that's why a lot of people again use that Tolkien-esque feeling and look and everything, because it is, you can pull that from so many like video games. Like they already did the work for you. Like even Final Fantasy, they stole Mithril from there, and they have it on there, but then they have like those standard classes, they still have elves and all that stuff, so it's just an easy basis to your point.
Yeah. Like, and I think that's part of why what I like about world building, like why that's my second category, is I spent so much time in those game worlds. Like, I've got like 27 or so role-playing systems on my shelf, except for the ones that I brought here that are no longer on my shelf.
Yeah. There are
and then board games and video games, and that's not how it works.
It's totally. We had a rule when we were younger that if you left something over someone else's house more than a month, it was theirs.
Well, we have a contract, so that's not in.
That's not in the contract.
Yeah. There will be an addendum to the contract written tonight.
Sign.
Yeah, but so I'd spend so much time in those worlds where I'd get a feel for how worlds were made. It's sort of like you spend enough time in an environment and you start picking things up.
Yeah.
And if you get a bunch and enough different examples, you get to see what the differences are, how the differences play out.
Yeah.
You know, like the pros and cons of all of them. And you start getting favorites or realizing what the ones you like have in common and what the ones you don't like have in common. And you start to build from there.
Yeah. It's almost like you are just continuing what has already been set forth, because again, as everything is with creation, it's just some kind of like, culmination of things or transformation of things. And you are just taking that one step further by doing your own thing or adding your spin or flavor to it and even possibly improving on it. Because we can look at like old, like movies or anything like that. And you can always see like, oh, this was, sci-fi back in the day. And now if you look at sci-fi now, it's such a like jump forward from it, not just because of like graphics or whatever, but because we have new ways of telling these stories or what have you. So I think with the same thing, like that world building made your world building and you're just adding on to that.
Yeah. I'm sort of, I'd get inspired for different things. I also like plot is my main thing. So, and I world building that involves plot inherently, I gravitate to more. Like that's why I like this game here, Shadow World role-playing game. Shout out to the designers of that, Iron Crown, Harry Amthor, rest in peace. But like he got me to want to be a writer just by creating this world that made me want to play in it. And it had so much plot stuff in the timeline, like the world timelines.
Yeah.
And it had characters, like iconic characters that were part of all that. So whether you were character, world building, or plot, it had you covered.
Sure.
It's because you didn't just have to create your own characters to have that interwoven into the plot. There are characters, non-player characters in there. And so I wanted to run a campaign in that and like got people to play. And it was really easy to work plots into there to the point where like now I want to write this up as a story,
sure.
But like, it's not like he didn't borrow from anything. He borrowed, I say he, cause like it's one dude and a lot of it was, but Terry Amthor was the main guy behind that, but
sure.
They took a lot from like the Dune Guild of Navigators. They took that. I think lots of people took from like, other cultures, like, ancient China or, like horse riding Mongols or things like, or like,
right.
or, Roman Empire or things like that. And you see little bits and pieces of it in all these different civilizations that are all kind of existing at once and interacting with each other more than we're used to in actual history.
Gotcha. So it's just that proximity of those cultures I probably would never have met.
Right. And actually a lot of them have radically different tech levels,
sure.
which is less likely in our own Earth's history. But you've got these essence flows, which are like these magical storm flows that kind of keep people separate, like geographically sometimes. So you can have divergent tech levels because those societies rarely talk
sure.
or they're more insulated from each other.
Yeah.
At least that's an excuse one can make for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I get a lot out of that. Just, if you can interweave plot and character into a world more, like it's more ready-made that way, it makes the process of building the world just less painful if you're gravitating more towards character or plot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to like is when we talk about sometime in the future, we talk about writing with somebody else, because we've had this experience where we've written together. And I think it works well if you have two people who are different, like with what they specialize in or what they like or what they enjoy doing, because like the world building part, don't you worry, I'll handle that, but you can handle the characters and all of that stuff better than I can, I believe, into a certain extent. And with like, and I'm sure when people write stuff like that, or they have consultants or whatever, they have those people to kind of like, oh wait, this would be better here. Or like, I don't think this will make sense because A, B, or C, or like even having an editor, for God's sakes, that is kind of that same kind of idea. And
just a different set of eyes that prioritizes a different element of story. Even if it's that, argued fourth leg, like how do we tell this story?
I'm actually a chair now instead of a tripod, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's less of a stool, more of a chair.
Yeah. There's 4-legged stools, isn't there?
There are, but analogy.
I mean, you have games. Yeah.
There's also no-legged stools. I feel one of those coming on
The
right
floor?
now.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Just
The floor? No.
No, where your legs are up and they're like,
Oh.
Different kind of stool.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking of.
I was thinking poop.
yes.
That's what I
Oh.
was
Yeah.
thinking.
Then
Because
what's
no
with
leg
the
stool,
legs?
because you're pooping so hard that your legs are up in the air.
God.
Oh, is this like that meme image that goes around like anime?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
But I know you've had going back to stories and games, like you've had plenty of things that you've been inspired, but specifically by games too. Like even stuff that we've watched recently, I think.
Have I?
Or was it not world building related?
Yeah.
Or like, do you get
What are you
more
talking about?
Inspirations? I don't know. Dead Space was one of them. that
Oh,
really-
yeah. Dead Space. I mean, it's, I'm trying to think like, what are things that have actually inspired the books that I'm working on?
I mean, even if it's not something you're working on, you just have an idea in the back of your head.
Mhm.
That counts as inspiration.
Yeah.
I got a lot of them.
Would you ever write a Mario Kart like sketch? Because like not just obviously again
A racing
thing, yeah, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. A lot of the like, I hate saying like Ace Combat,
Yeah.
like that.
Airplane fighter jet.
Every
games.
time like
Okay.
I would, because I would never play, because I'm not good at like, I'm better at like PC games because you don't really need that tactile like thumb, memory in order to play like.
I got to general playing TIE Fighter using a mouse and keyboard.
Wow.
Sure.
You don't have to have the joystick, and you can
ASDW.
do it on a PC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
prefer playing games on PC.
So do I.
Because playing on like a
Consoles.
controller is so challenging to me unless you like grew up playing games.
Yeah.
And so I would always watch like my brother play Ace Combat, and every time like I never knew really what the narrative was about in that game. So it just would inspire me to think of like, what are these pilots like? What are their day-to-day like? What do they do? What are they going for? Are they actually like fighting some kind of fight that's actually like important, or is it something like silly? Of course, that's not relevant to Ace Combat, but
Right.
it does make me like think more about character, right? Because that's my
Yeah.
favorite.
Like, what's the background?
Yeah.
What's the motivation?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's funny you said that because like that's literally in my notes. Like
Are you serious?
flight simulator, TIE fighter kind of
sure.
stuff.
Oh, funny.
I
Yeah.
grew up playing. There are games like like a really basic flight simulator.
Mhm.
I think the craziest
Microsoft one.
like Mac, the old Mac, black
Yeah.
and white. I think the
Mm.
craziest thing that happened to me in that I was dogfighting. So it was like a World War I kind of thing,
Mm.
dogfighting, and my landing gear was down, and I was like going towards the ground, and then I pulled up, and I heard this grrr, and
Yeah.
then like
The
went,
tires
and I was
gripped,
like,
yeah.
oh, I actually landed. I didn't crash. I landed and took
Yeah.
off again
And
by
touch and go.
accident in the
Right.
middle of
Yeah.
a dogfight. So that was crazy. But like, or like Korea era ones like Lady Gulf, or
Sure.
maybe that was Vietnam. I don't know.
Or F-117 Nighthawk.
Never played that. I went
Yeah.
kind of straight from Lady Gulf to like lots of not playing those, and to TIE Fighter.
Sure. I mean, those are
You
good
know.
too. Like,
Yeah.
X-Wing, TIE Fighter, both of them. X-Wing, actually, TIE Fighter, they introduced the TIE Defender.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was like one of the only TIE Fighters that had shields on it, which was really cool.
Yeah,
and
the TIE
everything.
Advance did too, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. Yeah. But it was just kind of cool that extra lore, again, building to what we've already, because we didn't want to like be Luke in the X-Wing and, flying down the trench, which was also a fun thing to do if you ever
Right,
played it.
I played that arcade game.
That's what I was going to say. That
Yeah,
was a game. Yeah. Yeah.
I will say one tangent from
Yeah.
airplanes. A game that does inspire me quite a bit are like fighting games, like Mortal
Sure.
Kombat
Yep.
or
Yeah,
even
yeah.
Smash Brothers. Like every
Yeah.
iteration.
She's got a lot of
Because-
anger in her. She just
I
wants to
just-
hurt people.
One, I suck at them, so that's the hard part
Just
for
button
me. but
mash.
and that only gets you so far, right? But
I do the same thing with fighting games.
yeah.
I'm better at flight simulator stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sure.
No, fighting games are great.
Hmm.
Just even for an outlet.
Yeah.
But,
that and two, like I think because Smash Brothers, yes, they all have their own like story and background because they're all characters from
Yeah.
other Nintendo like games and
Yeah. Because you got Samus and Star Fox.
Oh, that's right.
Different
Fox.
Nintendo franchises or something.
Yeah.
but another thing is too, like, why are they in this game? Why are they here? And we kind of know.
The original one was
Yeah.
literally somebody playing with their toys.
No.
Yeah. And the
is
Master
that-
Hand is.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Spoilers.
Now I know.
No, my God, that was
Kidding.
96. Like, what was that?
Well, now I know.
30
That-
years ago?
That destroys all the inspiration. No, I'm just kidding.
No. You are the master hand.
I am the master hand. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Jeez Louise. But
it's funny with like a lot of those older games or games that were just reverent and didn't like need a story. You just kind of played them just because the mechanics were fun.
Round one fight.
Yeah, right. But I love how far everything's come as far as like storytelling, graphics, all that stuff, because now you'll see games that are totally cinematic. They're totally like on the level with movies. I would even agree. There's
Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy is a great. I mean, that for me was like one of the biggest.
That's a breakout game for you. Yeah,
definitely. Like, and I didn't even really get into it until like Final Fantasy. It would have been 4 in Japan, 2 here, and then 6, which was 3 here.
I had no knowledge of it until 7.
Yeah, and which kills me.
Yeah.
Because like, don't get me wrong, like 7 was this wonderful jump into motion graphics and 3D animation and all that stuff. And it deserves all the credit for really pushing games to another level. But man, 6 got overlooked because of it. And I'm like, 6 is so much better. Like the story and all your characters, I think is a better story than Cloud and Tifa. I'm angry.
I mean, I never actually played any of them.
That's okay.
So I'm only familiar with 7. I've seen a couple other ones, but
No, and they're always good. Like they always have these big expansive worlds and people follow them and love them. And they're great ways to get into the storytelling about games. Like, because they're very story driven. They're that's basically what they are. I mean, the mechanics and the fighting is always fun, but you follow them because you like the characters and the story and stuff like that. But for me, like, I had a big inspiration from Final Fantasy 11, playing that game, that being, because when you play those games, you make your own character and then kind of live in those multiplayer RPGs, online RPGs. So you're there with like a bunch of other people, not just like NPCs, but other players that are actually inhabiting these worlds. So that's kind of cool how that game is like a playground for you and other people, and not just like you're following some kind of set path or whatever. I mean, there are still like, battles and elements, but you are also being social in that aspect too when you're playing any of those games, that online game. Online too has brought a lot of capability for people to connect and not just to play a game,
Yeah, although a lot of the time, a lot of the drawback is the same as the con, like, or is it the same as the pros are the same as the cons. Like, yeah, you get to deal with internet people. Yeah, but you get to deal with the internet people, And I remember like the first network game I played, I think was Bolo. It was a Mac tank game in early 90s. And you're like, you've got jungle, you've got a little builder you can send out from your tank to build stuff or fix stuff or whatever, and harvest trees or something, or cut them down at least. And like it was a network game. So there'd be other people at like the U of M computer labs playing it.
Oh, sure.
And, I was always like, I always was proud of myself. I'd find a tactic no one else had hit on yet.
Nice.
And I would like get it to where it was so effective that everyone else started copying it. But like,
you're a trendsetter.
I was a little bit with a couple of things, like 2 things,
Hey, take it.
Like one in Bolo, one in NetTrek. And NetTrek was a Star Trek themed one that you could only do at the really high end IT labs on campuses.
Because you need the processing power.
You needed the processing power, the network speeds that you get with only from the IT computers.
Right. And they would have to like vet you to make sure you can get in there. It's like, okay, who's Captain Jean-Luc Picard's first officer? Like,
Well, to get in the computer lab, like that's where you have to have the IT account. Again, NetTrek, whatever.
Oh, sure.
Make an account.
Yeah.
But I think we did league play at one point, and every league had its theme, and we had the clue theme because we were if you knew what you were doing in that game, they'd call you a clue. So we had team Clue because we all were really experienced players.
Nice.
Sure.
So we themed it after the board game Clue.
There you go.
Fair enough.
I was Mr. Body, but
Mr. Body.
That's who gets murdered. Yeah.
Oh,
and everyone else has to solve their murder.
I didn't know he had like a name.
It's with 2 D's. Mr. Body.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that game up too. Like that is a board game that we played a lot to, and
Clue.
yeah.
Yeah, it inspired a lot of people's love of mystery. You know?
Yes.
Sure, fair enough.
The thing is, I don't love mystery, but I did. I mean, I should have known my entire life I love characters so much because I would just imagine more about like motive. What are these people like? Why is it Mrs. Peacock?
Yes.
Yeah, Ms. Scarlet, Mrs. Peacock. Yeah. Why does she love peacocks so much? Like it was.
She's a murderer.
Yeah. Like they're all kind of wacky. And Colonel Mustard, you know, like what's his background?
He's a murderer.
Gosh, and
I love that the film answered a few of these questions in
really?
one way.
honestly, well, and I
don't
didn't
remember
watch because are there multiple movies? Why do I think there are two?
There's multiple endings.
There's 3
I know
endings
that.
to the same movie.
Why do I feel like there's another clue? But
I don't know.
There's Without a Clue, which is a parody of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's very worth watching.
I will say another board game inspiration is I've always loved the movie Jumanji.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say like as a kid, it's not like one of the first movies that I'll think of as like my favorite movie, but it scared the heck out of me
Sure.
as a kid because, well, one, I still like, I'll hear like drums like that, you know, the drums at the beginning of the
they're
movie.
coming.
Like seriously,
We
like
cannot get out.
no, it's wacky and how I think that movie is such a good like play on kind of what we're talking about
Right.
because it does take that inspiration and like what would happen if a board game
Came to
like that
life,
came to
yeah.
life, yeah, and had that sort of mystical energy. Like where does it come from and what's the background of this game? Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
There's one thing about that movie that I always had to like comment
Oh,
on
no.
because I think it's one of the best pieces
Oh.
of cinema ever. It's where the boy, he's starting to turn into a little monkey,
Mm-hmm.
and they sent him out to the plant was grabbing his sister, I think it was,
Yeah.
and they sent him to get an axe. So he picks up the axe, he starts whacking at the shed with the axe, and he sees he has the axe, and he looks at the screen, and then he runs back to like it's the funniest thing that
It really is
like quacking thing that I've seen. It's so well done. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like it's comedy when it shouldn't be comedy, and when it was not misplaced, but it was like unexpected.
It was unexpected
know-
fourth
Yeah.
wall break.
Yes,
Yes,
it was
and-
so
By Monkey
funny.
Boy.
I think one of the best parts is too because Robin Williams is in that movie and he doesn't do a lot of funny things in that movie. So the
Right.
fact that the boy got to do the funny thing in the
Yeah.
movie is fantastic to
Right.
me. It like subverts our expectations
Yeah,
for
yeah.
seeing Robin Williams
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
the funny person. And then he plays a fantastic character. Like
Yeah.
that's just I haven't thought about that movie in a while.
Yeah.
This is why we
Um,
do this.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we're gonna add to our list of things.
Yeah.
that we
Or at
watch.
least add to our list of movies that
Mhm.
outside of the 3 we always.
Yeah.
I forgot they made the new one.
Oh, that's
the-
right. With The
oh my
Rock.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick
Which-
Jonas.
Yeah, because he's a main character. They're okay. It's
Anything with The Rock is going to be at least okay.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 'cause he's fun.
He picks movies that are going to be fun and keeps them fun.
Right.
Yeah,
It just
lighthearted.
I do appreciate that they tried to update it a little bit for like modern audiences where like the board game actually like shifted into like a console.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, like
I haven't watched all the Jumanji movies, but
Yeah.
like,
Mm.
yeah.
I think the second one I haven't seen.
the second of the new ones, you mean?
There's a second of the
yeah.
original.
No. So there's the original Jumanji
Yeah.
and the Rock Jumanji, and
Yeah.
then there's a sequel to that one.
Okay.
And it's where like the new people get pulled in, but like they're played by different characters this time.
And like there's something about
Yeah,
remember.
there's the old. Isn't Donald Glover? Isn't he or Danny Glover?
Danny
Which-
Glover.
the
Danny,
older one.
Danny.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and he's like he's the Rock, so he's all buff. He's like, oh, so much muscle. Like it's just like that's a great representation of the movie. Yeah, I know.
I think I did see like a trailer for that or something.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just, I mean, that's sort of a which came first, the game or the movie. I think it was the movie, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's funny though. You get that sometimes with games and books and movies and whatever, you get this sort of circle where, it starts out as one of those, like, let's say it starts out as a movie, then becomes a game, then becomes a book, then becomes a game again, then becomes a movie again. Like
Yeah.
You know, and it just kind of bounces around between these different media.
The Ouroboros of game. Yeah.
Of inspiration.
I mean, I know like we all kind of love board games, or some games in general of some type, whatever. Like you like RPGs, I like board games. You like video games, I like video games. You like video games.
Yeah,
I like video game soundtracks.
Yeah, video game soundtracks. Yeah.
I even can be fine with sports. I'm not anti-sports. That's a game.
It is a game.
Can you please leave? No, I'm kidding. We have a big sports family too, and it's important. Like I like sports for the aspect of just being fit and well and stuff like that, and exercise. It's good. It's good for people. I really like. I'd rather play sports than watch it, to be honest.
Yeah, but, for me, it depends on the sport.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch football than play football.
No blood sports.
Yeah, no blood sports.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, we do. We had to watch Sam.
You guys having a Van Damme phase here?
Well, because she's never seen Time Cop or any like.
I just really kind of discovered Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I don't know that I've ever finished a Jean-Claude Van Damme film.
Have you seen Street Fighter?
No.
Oh,
I want to watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it.
Which is funny. Sorry, unless you're gonna segue for sports.
I was gonna segue, but go ahead. Please.
No. I was gonna talk about fighting movies. But mostly it's not actually relevant.
It's totally relevant.
Because it doesn't have to do. Maybe you can, as a true video game connoisseur, enthusiast. The Raid Redemption. I know. So this is a movie that it is. I'd consider it. It's like trashy action flick because there's no story. There is story, but like when there's not much to go off of with the story.
It's like Battleship the movie or something.
Battleship the movie is a classic and beautiful. Don't ever speak bad about it.
Yeah, you told you. No, but The Raid is not inspired by like any game or anything, but what's the video game like phrasing for it? It's like a tower, like
tower defense.
No. So I know what you're saying. Kind of like, so what I was going to add to what you're saying is like, I would argue in your favor that's saying that it's kind of like a video game because you're going through stages. It's like a beat 'em up. It's like like you ever play Streets of Rage or Ninja Turtles, like the arcade Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I played the arcade Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so it's like you're going from like place to place, beating up the bad guy. Boss fights, stuff like that. Yes. So for that reason, like even because Dread is almost like Raid, and it's him, Dread, going through each stage. Like getting tough and tougher, you know.
And so I think it's such a wonderful movie because it's simple, even though Rio would 100% disagree. I watch it way too much.
The fights are fine. It's just like I can only like if you're just gonna watch fights, you might as well just watch like MMA or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
at least this has eco waste in it.
It does have eco waste and everything. And it's just like again, wonderful because they're doing something creative, they're doing what they love and everything. But I need more than just like waiting for a cool fight to happen. You know, and there is more story to that. I don't want to like downplay it.
There's not much more. But I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's a good, like it's a movie that it could be a game. And it has inspired me. I hate saying it, even though it's not a video game. Nor world building, just like concept and fighting and martial arts.
Yeah.
That has inspired me actually for my writing, which I'm connecting it that way. It's not the gray. So it's a new one.
It's in the gray.
Well, and sometimes certain dynamics or mechanics like can be part of world building and not fighting in general, but you know, like reasons to fight, you know, like culturally, or like that's a part of the world, or the mechanics for how fights work. You know, like I pull a lot of that from different role playing systems that I play. And so I'm kind of wondering, as far as games inspiring world building stuff, like what bits of world building, even for stuff you haven't written yet, but stuff you've gotten ideas for, because we're talking about inspiration, you know, what bits for stories, have you pulled from games? Like, I guess, you know, one thing that I thought was really cool, you know, about the Shadow World thing was like these essence flow storms, you know, like these magical storm flows where it's like actual meteorological storms, but caused or enhanced by these magical flows, for example. But like, you know, I write historical fiction, like that didn't inspire anything there. But, you know, I've had I've had ideas for sci-fi, like AI stuff or space opera or whatnot.
Sure.
Like I've got like this Doctor Who role-playing game here. They have a mechanic because wandering monsters are how it is in D&D.
Yeah.
With Doctor Who, like the original one, you used to never know where you were going to turn up.
Yeah.
So it's like wandering planets kind of thing. Like it has a generator for building planets and societies and tech levels and things like that,
cool.
that you might run into, which I thought was really cool. And, you can use it. You don't have to use it for that game. You can use it for anything.
Yeah. Is that FASA the same one that does Battletech?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's the 80s, 90s FASA.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, this is a very 80s. You can tell this is like, like on the box, it's got like the Tom Baker, like the 70s, 80s Doctor Who guy.
It looked like
Leela.
Kind of looked like I didn't see it fully. I thought it was like Addams Family or something like that.
Right. I thought the same thing.
Oh,
kind
really
of
nice.
gothic. Yeah. But what was the question that you asked? It was
like what ideas have you come away with? Like taken, sorry.
There you go.
Like have you I'm used to it being mine. What
You're safe hands now.
What ideas have you kind of pulled from games that like, that inspired you to do something else with them or that they've modified or just lifted right out of there? Like I want to use that sometime.
I know that
you go first.
Just, recently I've been talking to my cousin. It's kind of a little bit of spoiler of things to come. And we talked about, we've always had a love for Star Fox. I don't know if you ever played that game.
Mm-hmm. Never heard of it.
Do you know what an on rails is? Like shooter?
Where it's just like, there's just one path to follow.
Right. And you're actually stuck onto like basically the Y, so non rails, it means that like you are flying or like if you're a plane, you're always flying forward and then you kind of move in a kind of a position around
so like a first person shooter
like
kind of view.
Harrier. Have you not first person, but Space Harrier, Star Fox, Panzer Dragon, the Top Gun game that used to be in the arcades.
I've played the NES Top Gun game.
No, that's different.
Okay.
That's cockpit. But anyways, so on rails, this means basically like you're on a roller coaster and you're just kind of following as it goes. So like if the
kind of like those Zombie Hunter arcade games.
Yes. Yeah. That's on rails kind of game. And that kind of like, I always love the anthropomorphic kind of view of the characters out of Star Fox and the space battles and that kind of like sci-fi version of that. But it's very like simple and easy to like digest kind of like character designs and ships. And it was back in the day where like polygons, if you had like 30 polygons on your ship and everything, that's a lot of power for Super Nintendo. Like, you got to get the Super FX drive. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Yeah. You had an extra card, or they had a special, not cartridge, chip inside the cartridge to make it so they could do the 3D graphics.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So either way, like I want to do like a comic in that kind of vein and everything, with, one of my cousins. And I think it's a really fun, like way to pay homage to that. Like, because we both enjoy that. So why not like do our own spin on it, our own take on it, and play around with those kind of ideas of worlds and what have you. But I mean, even other than that, like anything that I've done or seen, like even just being creative, like even you saying that you started doing stories because of Shadow Worlds.
Yeah.
Like it's all feeding into just, if I didn't love creativity or anything, I would just stop or like go do something else or go fishing or I don't know what you do when you aren't creative. Like,
well, like there'd be a lot of TV and stuff like you could still be entertained, but you just don't generate the creative ideas.
Right. And you just wait, because then you're just consuming and you're just waiting for the next best thing. And I think actually that might make some people sadder almost, like, because if you're just waiting for the next thing, then you're always sad because it's never living to up to your expectations almost. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just a view I have. But.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just like, they actually positive. They're positive about a lot of content out there. And like, I love a lot more often the attitude I encounter is I love that I live in a world where there's so many things worth watching, worth engaging with, worth consuming. There's so many good books. There's so many good stories. There's so many good things worth watching. And, a lot of people don't hate formula. So they'll read formulaic books. Like, there could be formulaic horror, formulaic mystery, formulaic fantasy, formulaic sci-fi. It's a romance, obviously,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and people are like, yeah, sign me up. I want more of it.
Yeah. And they can get
It's comforting.
Yeah.
It's familiar. Yeah.
they'll get what they want out of it, regardless if it's good or bad. They'll get something out
but
of it.
they will still encounter new ideas. They'll still encounter plot twists. They'll still, they're appreciative that
Mhm.
they appreciate us.
Sure.
Yeah.
They appreciate what we do.
I do like formulaic like action films.
Yeah.
I guess
Like
that
The
is
Raid.
some like The Raid, Headshot. They're all
sure.
yeah. I love Headshot so much.
Yeah.
it's not a good movie, but again, they're action films. There is a almost very clear like good and evil in them that you don't really need to think too much before you go into them. So I feel like that's the purpose of the formulaic thing, where
It's just like don't overtax my brain. I've had a hard, long day.
Yeah,
And I just want to be entertained.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think for your point too, with fighting movies, is that they're very visceral. So you can't think about it because it's all about reaction. It's all about like that immediacy of the combat. Because when you're in a fight or you're in life or death, you just gotta act and do, and then worry about.
You're not having this drawn out inner monologue unless you're Sherlock Holmes in the movies, anyway.
That's before he has the fight. So
versus like anime fights when they do have those giant inner monologues.
I
And
hate them sometimes though.
yeah,
Because they'll just stop and
it pauses. But as for video games that have inspired me like to a greater degree, I will say the Dragon Age games and also Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, whatever.
'Cause you're a thief.
I do. Well, I actually Well, I am a thief.
Koya's your favorite character.
She is. And it makes sense because you go to these things sometimes to not live vicariously through them, but to get out some like things that you can't get out like in real life. Like I can't go around stealing stuff.
You need an outlet.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I'll play SSX 3 and like, or SSX Tricky rather. And like, hey, how many knockdowns can I get on my way down the slope? Like I would never do that if I were like snowboarding or something.
No.
Not that I'd be good at that at this age, but starting out new,
but I do think that with at least those two games, the fantasy aspect of both of them have been incredibly inspiring for my own science fantasy series that I'm working on. Because it is helping me with that world building. As we were talking, I was thinking like, what games have really inspired? And because I think video games, it's so nice to see it in some form that's not just like being info dumped at us. Like in video games, we get to see it. We get to see world building like already played out. And I think Oscar, like you said earlier, like with the things that you're showing us. That it's just, it gives us examples of like how we can do it and without it being like super interface. While I don't have anything planned like for dragons or anything like with Skyrim or, even Dragon Age, there's not a lot of dragons in Dragon Age, but
at least one dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But the depth of the fantasy aspects of both games are just fantastic. And I think it gives you so much to chew on. And it gives so much depth to like the stories, and it makes you able to really, I don't know, just something about them.
Now you're saying your work that you're working on is science fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So A, what makes you call it science? In what way is it science fantasy? But B, what inspired you to make it be that?
No, it's funny because I wanted to make something more sci-fi than fantasy. But to answer your question of like what makes me consider it science fantasy,
or like
instead,
what kind of science fantasy is it?
Because the world that I'm writing, the series is called Conquering Chronicles. It's a multi-book series, and it's based in not a 3-planet system, but it focuses on 3 planets within a star system, and there's interplanetary travel, but I don't focus too much on the technology part of the world. I focus more on the fantastical spiritual elements of this world. So
which world is, you mean the that setting or one of the three worlds?
That setting. And we travel in between all three of them. So it's not like one focus on one planet each book.
Right.
They go from like planet to planet.
Yeah, they just travel during the story.
Yeah.
I like traveling during the story.
Yeah.
You don't want to just stay in the house and figure it out?
My stories tend to be, they range across different countries or lands or planets or whatever they would be.
And the reason why I keep that science part on it too is because that technological like aspect is important, but it's not what the story, it's not what I want. No, it's not the main focus of the story.
Right. It's like the backdrop.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah.
I guess I asked because the Shadow World, like I said, the one that has inspired me to be a writer, is technically it's science fantasy. But the way it's science fantasy is there was this culture that kind of like ruled the galaxy ages ago, and they're from this planet, which had its own unique magical flows.
Sure.
And they kind of like all went to war with each other and mostly killed each other or went into stasis or whatever. And then the other races that grew up on this planet, like they didn't have all this technology. Every once in a while, someone would find some old relic or something, but it's mostly a fantasy setting. But there's this backdrop of this old dead science fiction type civilization that also had magic, but the science fiction was more of an element to it there. And you can, those can intersect when something is awakened or dug up or something like somebody, you know, like, oh, this thing seems like it needs me to channel. Like, what's the purpose of this? I'll magically divine that. Oh, it needs to receive whatever magical power. You put some power into it and you've turned on a computer now. And you know, that sort of thing. And now you've discovered, like, maybe you've activated, the android woke up or something. And so there's that kind of science fantasy. So I kind of asked that, but again, you know, from a game.
You know who does that actually kind of in the same respect is Warhammer 40K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're huge influence on like a lot of our things like StarCraft.
Yeah. There's a whole Warhammer 40K section at a lot of gaming stores.
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. Yeah. And even like with their technology, like I don't know lore as well, so forgive me, internet, but they can't create any new technologies. They just don't have either the knowledge or the ability to do so. So they unearth blueprints from old like parts of the civilization in order to have their factories make those things. So if you find a blueprint for a tank, like you're more powerful because like now you can make tanks. Right. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that way. Like their whole lore is amazing. Like I love it a lot, but yeah, just that. Yeah. Almost that. Cause they're almost sci fantasy. Almost they're very, cause they have like demons and they have you know, the warp, whereas like they're hell. Well,
and they're like space orcs, you know, like, you know, which that's basically
this is one thing I was going to talk about too. Sometimes when you like watch something or you see something, you just get really mad because like, damn it. Like I would, like you said at the last time, we're like, I'm never going to think of something as good as that. Like the orcs from 40K are some of the coolest, like, designs and like character and lore that I've ever seen. Like they're funny. They're well thought out and everything, and their lore, and they're actually mushrooms, I think. I'm pretty sure like they're okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Fungus. Yeah. But like it's one of those things where it's just like Horizon Zero Dawn is one of these games that are kind of like that. I am inspired by it, by the fact that it exists and the story is so well done. But I don't think I could. I don't want to say I can't do it, but I would have never tried to emulate or tried to build off of that because I think it is kind of perfect the way it is. Like I just want that to exist, and I want more people. I want them to do more with it, of course. But like I don't need to try to improve it. And I don't want to say improve it, but like make my own version of it or anything like that. So like then, and I like that sometimes it's like, you know what, that's good. I'm gonna leave it alone. Like you know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If it's not broke, don't fix it. You know.
There you go.
That kind of thing.
There you go.
I'll say going back to like video games where you can like heavily customize your character in a way.
You mean like, beyond just the skins or like skills selection,
like facially, or
facially, like, you know. Classes, you know, all that. Dragon Age and Skyrim are the two that I mostly know. I know you can do it in a lot of other games too, like I think Baldur's Gate,
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, but what I'll do is sometimes I'll make like one of my primary characters just to see how they would sort of interact with a world like this.
Oh, sure. Yep.
Yeah. And in a way, one, to test what I know of the character. Two, because I love my characters so much that I just want to play them in other games. But also how to like use those class settings like ranger or thief or, fighter. And to see how those dynamics, those mechanics interact with how you're setting up your character too.
Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, because like when you were playing Dragon Age Veilguard, you had made Ilekai.
I did.
And it's one of those wonderful things where like you can use those character creators just to bring your stuff to life. Like you can never like use them, to like take a screenshot and put it on your book or whatever. But it's a way to like, see them alive and at least give you like, yes, this is how they would look.
It's a visual representation. Yeah. I think some of the things that the games have inspired for me is like games have a mechanic. And a lot of the times, if the game, especially like when you see people abuse a mechanic, you want, at least for me, what I want to do is buck the mechanic and make something interesting. And that's interesting going against the trend that lends itself to abuse.
Sure.
So for example, I played a lot of GURPS. It stands for Generic Universal Role-Playing System.
Is that what it stands for?
Yes. Oh. The rules in there, at least for 3rd edition, which is what I played, kind of heavily favor. It has 4 stats. It has strength, dexterity, IQ, and health.
Okay.
Wow.
And most of the skills are based on your dexterity and your IQ. So it's physical skills are usually based on dexterity. Mental are based on IQ. So most people put their highest stats in dexterity and IQ.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this can't be the whole world.
Right.
I'm gonna make a character that's mostly strong, kind of healthy, like reasonably dexterous, and sort of dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see how well this is, how fun this is to play. Yeah, he's a fishing background. He's from a fishing family. He's not very good at it.
Yeah,
but that's actually
went out.
It's actually pretty good at being a mercenary. And like you break some of the things, and one of the things in there is like, okay, fencing rules. Well, fencing rules in GURPS say you can't employ the fencing skill if you're more than slightly encumbered. Well, what's encumbrance based on? Strength. So I can actually have a decent amount of armor.
Yeah,
because I'm not encumbered. Yeah. So I can have armor and learn fencing because my dexterity is fine. But I'm also going to do more damage because my strength is higher.
Yeah.
And then, so you can actually use different mechanics.
Right.
If you build against what the traditional way to break the game is, to the point where other people are like, and my brother does this all the time too. And where other people are like, I never would have thought of that. And I don't know how to counter it. I hate you right now. That kind of thing.
Thanks for breaking the game,
Yeah.
But even just how game systems are designed, people understand the whole hit points thing. And there's a lot of games out there that don't do that. They do like wound levels or shock damage and physical damage and whatever.
Yeah. I think that's a fantastic, I think because you said it, I don't know if it was earlier in this episode or last week, but how world building is it's your second favorite.
It's my second favorite.
Yeah. But that how you use that world to then build your character. And I just think that's a wonderful route to take as a storyteller, because it's like your character is naturally made from the world with which they are in.
Yeah.
And for me, as somebody that loves character, that sounds like such a good challenge.
Yeah, because you're like, okay, how can I shoehorn this character into a world?
Yeah.
Versus the reverse approaches, which is what I'm talking about. Like the world gives rise to these characters.
Yes. Yeah. And I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And it can be a challenge in reverse too. Where can I put this kind of character? How can I create a world that makes this a good story for this character?
Yeah.
And it's funny, my pirate stories, they're built in GURPS. So there's that temptation to have them all be, I called them, I called them all intellectual fencing weenies because dexterity was the fencing thing.
Sure.
So they're all like IQ 15, which 10 is average, and dexterity 15. And I'm like, yeah. And they're all made of glass.
Yeah.
And if they hit something with just their hand, no one's going to notice, that kind of thing.
Sure.
and they just can't even get through most armor. So that, you know, but like I would have to build real characters. You've got to fight against that temptation if you're trying to build actual story.
Sure.
Because the world has lots of characters in it and they don't all have, like, averages are average for a reason. If average is 10, there have to be people who are below average.
Right.
There have to be a whole lot of people who are average. Like there's got to be a nice bell curve.
Everybody's special. Everybody's just
Everybody wants to be special. Right?
And you know, I'm still telling stories about exceptional people, but they're not all exceptional in the same ways.
Right. Because then you get Superman or whatever.
Yeah. And you know, like that was one of the first systems I played that had advantages and disadvantages. You pay points for advantages, you get points back for disadvantages. And so I've got one character, I won't say who seems like they're so good and so good at so much and they're so smart. And you're like, where's this character flaw? And it's like, oh, they're terminally ill.
Oh, I thought you were going to say they had ED or something.
No, terminal illness is a GURPS disadvantage that gets you a lot of points.
Sure.
Interesting.
But it's like you're pretty much, you got to use it before you die. So
it's like, but it's for character purposes.
Yeah.
That helps the story. Sometimes it's great for the story. It's not necessarily great for the longevity of your character.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's not always the important part for the story.
Sure.
Yeah. And I think going back to something you said about exceptional characters, I also think that when you have flawed characters that are working together, gets you an exceptional party, which is also something that people love coming back to in like either a story, a video game, people play D&D with their friends for decades because they just love this group and they love hanging out together.
We're at a wedding with where she invited all her D&D people to the wedding. And like, there's other people who didn't make the cut to the wedding, and it was these people. Like, and it's great. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
And no, and I think that one thing that sort of builds that like favorability with the party is because those characters with those like wonderful character traits or qualities, it's their weaknesses too, which make them need other people in that party, and so you lean onto those strengths.
You've got complementary
breadsticks,
complementary excellence, areas of excellence, and complementary flaws. Sort of like we were talking about with collaboration. Like, you know, if like world building is top for you, characters top for you, you know, like plot's your bottom thing, it's your second thing, it's my top. Like if we all collaborate, it's like somebody's always got the top spot with each of these things.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we can help the others, etc.
So you want to commit to writing a story together right now?
Like, God.
There's
making time is my least. We'll talk about that later. But I have an interest.
Oh,
yes,
of course.
We all do.
But complementary characters, I mean, actually just thinking about like Koya and Ajuban, like their moments together are some of my favorite because they're so kind of like opposite to one another.
Yeah.
And then same with in your story, Rio, like seeing Salil and Eja work together is such a fun dynamic because they're so different.
Too bad to destroy that.
Yeah. Well, spoilers. Spoilers.
If you know,
it's in book one, I guess, in your defense. But just as good examples like that, you know, sometimes those complementary dynamics are just fascinating for people and compelling for them to come back to.
Well, I think that a lot of it rests on having at least one area where you're on the same page. Otherwise, that those areas just stay different. They don't connect. They need an area to connect. And I was actually going to say this on our, thing on maps. It's like boundaries are not just where things are separated. It's also where they meet.
Sure. Yeah.
Like that is where these two cultures meet. Well, it's also where two individuals meet, but
boundaries are conventions.
Boundaries are connections. That's where two things connect. It's also where they're separate.
Unless you're in space, there are no boundaries.
Sure there are, man.
No boundaries. No boundary in space. You look down at the world, there are no borders.
Except the ones in your visual, No. It's like, look, there it is.
No borders.
But there's no separation in reality.
Yes.
But the thing that Ajuban and Koya have in common is they're both cultural outsiders. They're both like, people of color in a society that doesn't really
Is Ashurban like Indian?
He's Nigerian.
Nigerian? Oh, okay.
And
Sorry,
Koya,
I've read your book.
no, that's all right. And Koya is
I never told
is
you
basically
to.
Incan, you know,
Yeah. I know
descended
that,
from them.
'cause she tells me all the time.
Yeah.
She's like,
Koya's number one fan
I always
right
say
here.
she's like a refugee Incan because like
Yes.
there aren't any Incas anymore when
Sure.
she's
Right.
born.
yeah.
So I never just say she's Incan, but that's the heritage.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
ancestry.
And
yeah.
and like Ashurban was taken and enslaved at 13,
Ah,
which is about the same age that Koya was like driven from her home.
Sure.
So,
interesting. Also, they can bond over that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
They're
you know,
both so important.
yeah.
and Roy is like, you know, perfectly accepted as his family,
Yeah.
as a whole cultural thing. And he's almost kind of separate from it on his own, which you haven't really hit that point yet, where
Mm-mm.
it's like, what's really going on with you, man? Like
Mhm.
you're doing this to yourself.
He's got some demons, but
He
I also
does.
think that one great thing about Roy is that he lets Ajuban and Koya, like he empowers them
Mhm.
in a way to, like, he knows what they can be, and he's like, just here's a place, go do it.
Like, no joke, his, like, this is deliberately written this way. His greatest skill as a captain is to let other people who know what they're doing do their thing.
Yeah,
Which is a sign
that's a
of a
good
good
captain.
leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because on GURPS character sheet terms,
Mhm.
Ajuban is like IQ 14
Dang.
and so is Koya,
Oh.
and Roy is 12.
So that
I like
plays to their
knowing
strengths,
that.
right?
He's like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I recognize they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm not gonna try to like rein that in.
Yeah.
I'll just try to like harness it.
Mm.
Again, a sign of a good leader, someone
Yeah.
that knows that what they're, because that's like good leader is not someone who knows everything. It's good
Right.
leaders know how to
Mhm.
get the people together to do their job well.
It's like you know, like you have an understanding of what you don't understand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, they know what they're doing. And they get into a little trouble that way because Ajuban
Sure.
struggles with the curiousness disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's a 5-pointer.
Ooh.
5 points.
Yeah, I could see that happening. a lot.
But yeah, it's funny to see them as GURPS characters. But
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's where a lot of this comes from, is ways of conceptualizing character,
Mhm.
ways of conceptualizing dynamics or mechanics, whether it's of the world
Mhm.
or how combat works or whatever, ways of conceptualizing worlds. Like, you know, like I've got this like for a game called Shatter Zone, this universe guide. But like the main thing with Shatter Zone, it's you feel free to look
Yeah,
at it
it's
if you
really
want.
pretty actually.
It is,
like,
yeah.
That's kind of cool.
It's an out of print game from the 90s. You know, it's a space game. But the whole idea is that the populated area of the galaxy is kind of, there's this huge area that's like basically like a giant asteroid field. Like even with fast and light travel, it takes you a long time to get around it. But it's very full of things that are very mineable.
Oh,
I see
okay.
why you like this.
Is that the forum?
I don't know.
She has two sets of arms, yeah.
Castellarian females. But Castellarian females are most commonly seen. Are the most common seen examples of this species.
Yeah. Like, I forget why. It's been a while. But
Please.
this was doing Reavers 10 years before Firefly was doing Reavers.
Oh,
But not same origin story.
Sure.
I won't spoil
Not
that for those
Miranda?
who haven't seen it. Yeah, no Miranda.
yeah.
But there's just another species that lives outside the Shatter Zone.
Sure.
The Shatter Zone is that like asteroid field. But like there's all this, they actually put out 3 novels at the same point time they
Oh.
put out their game. And you know, like one of them is pretty decent and the others I'm sort of like, you know.
Just kind of filler.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, you know, that's a quality issue, but they do decent world building. And there's some stuff in there and in these books that just, you know, made me think, okay, there's a lot of possibilities with this stuff. And like there's a whole source book called Xenarchs, and it's about xenoarchaeology, which is a great kind of science fiction
Ooh.
campaign.
Sure.
It makes for good science fiction stories. There's episodes of Babylon 5 based around that kind of thing. And that's where you've got people exploring other planets and finding ancient technologies, like civilizations long past. This is xenoarchaeology.
Yeah.
And they've got a whole like source book for campaigns that are run that way. I'm like,
Cool.
that's total inspiration material, even if you never play this game.
Right.
Mhm.
Just having that.
Just
you know?
having the source
Yeah.
book to give you ideas.
Mhm. Honestly, just hearing, I'd never heard the phrase xenoarchaeology before. And
Yeah.
now my mind is just like, ooh, ooh,
Picard's really
Yeah.
into it.
ooh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's why I went to Ryza.
Yeah. and there's a whole plot line in Babylon
Yep.
5 that goes around xenoarchaeology.
Well, sure.
Not just one episode. There is one episode early on
Yeah.
with that, but there's also a whole like multi-season story arc that kind of begins with that.
Sure.
Which I won't spoil.
So I was going to add too, like, you know, I love that, like, how D&D, I don't even know, was D&D the first one kind of basic, big one?
It was like arguably there was one called Star Frontiers around the same time. Cause you can't have your fantasy without your sci-fi.
Obviously. Because I was going to say and all of these are where you're trying to make characters in these bigger worlds and going on these fantastic, adventures, but there is actually a new one that has come out recently called Fantabula Ultima.
Okay.
And it's very much for the Japanese anime crowd, but you are those cool characters that can do those fantastic things. So there's no distance you have to worry about, or basically if you can get to them, you can do an attack and you just basically tell what you want. And you are those overpowered anime characters.
Yeah. It's the engine, the category of RPG that's called a cinematic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's all theater of the mind. It's just, you say, I didn't know that was a thing. Again, you're more versed in that kind of I self-style as a little bit of an weekend expert on our role-playing games. We're just the types and cinematic stuff. D&D is kind of cinematic too. Kind of. But
GURPS, things are more deadly.
Yeah.
And I did run a game for some kids, old roommate's little brother, Zach, or his little brother, Adam, who, he, for his 18th birthday, he wanted to play a role-playing game. Yeah. And I did one in my GURPS pirate. I have all the notes. So in my pirate world, the same world that has my books, I started them out and I didn't tell them where they were starting out. I just told them, don't do equipment. We'll do that together at the end. So they didn't do it. And so I was like, okay, here's what you have for weapons. You each have a pistol with one shot. I'm like, oh no, we're marooned. I was like, they didn't Russian know roulette. Why I was giving them certain parameters. It's so the crew mutinied. You were the captain. You did back him up, and you're both on the side. And then I'm playing.
I do
love that. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
They got picked up by some smugglers, and the guy, the Adam, 18-year-old kid who's used to playing D&D was like, I'm going to try to take over this ship, and I'm like, you're going to die. He's totally going to die. He's armed. You're not.
Yeah.
It's funny. You gave him your guns. This is,
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to do it and he gets just basically shot. And he's later on, he's like, the problem is I'm used to D&D and that totally would have worked.
Yeah. Well,
maybe it's because it would have been cinematic.
Yeah.
Versus gritty and real,
right? Where you have to if you can say what you're going to do and you roll well enough, and the GM's like, sure,
yeah. But so sorry not to go on a huge tangent.
No.
Let's Futura, or is that Futura?
Fabula
Ultima.
And it's kind of cool too because they try to make it anime-esque as much as they can, because when a boss or main character comes into the scene, you get a point for it to use to alter your roll later or stuff like that. There's a whole thing where they might do just a cinematic where it's just a flashback or a flash forward or a side flash where it's oh yeah, this is going on. So you guys know this more information. So it's not just you're learning information from as you go through the story. You're actually the GM is showing you those extra scenes that you would see in an anime or something like that. And
right.
Yeah. And it's very much, again, they try to take out all the stuff that would make it, I don't want to say difficult or inaccessible, but just streamline it, to make it so it's you're always kind of moving forward.
It's sort of streamlined in the favor of the player characters.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Gritty can be streamlined, but it's not in the favor of the player characters.
Right.
And there are games where it's deliberately hard for player characters where it's streamlined against them or something.
Sure. But that could be fun for people. Some people like that. Yeah. And I'm one of those people who do like that,
Right. It's the challenge or whatever.
Yes.
Everything else is too easy. It depends on the game master.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned that, and one of the first, I always hated how magic systems were so, there were spells delineated for everything. But then if you watch a movie or an anime, or even you have NPCs that can do wild stuff, I'm like, there are no spells in here that let them do that. Why can they do that?
Sure.
And then I ran across this bad boy. This is the second edition of Ars Magica, another role-playing game. I'm doing mostly those.
Yeah.
And any spell you can conceive of, they've got it's 6 techniques, and a dozen forms or something.
Sure.
And a technique might be I think I'm getting that right. Might be control.
Okay.
Or create or destroy or
right. So you use that as like a basis almost for whatever the spell would
and then
be.
the forms are like plants or animal or power or and so if you're like, okay, I want to make those vines grab that guy, okay, that's control plant. And then it's a matter of like, okay, how difficult do I think that would be as the game master? Set a target number, they roll, like they have stats in those disciplines from when they trained as a wizard, and you make that roll. And you can do like cinematic versions of that, or you can do like, no, you have to study for months at a time in your tower with your your covenant. So I liked the free form nature of that. But again, that kind of helps you if you're not starting from a standpoint of writing stories. It kind of gives you the building blocks to learn, to give yourself permission to like have things be that free form of like, okay, how do I classify things in my mind if I'm not used to coming up with worlds? Well, see how other people have done it, just to classify it for yourself, and then you can just run with it.
Right. Yeah. And then do your own flavor.
Yeah.
Spark. Yeah. So that's kind of bringing it all around back to our authorship and our abilities and wants to create worlds. So yeah, this is again, as always, we could be talking for another hour about this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even talk about,
I know I got a bunch of stuff.
Civilization. Like
that's a great one.
Like, I was going to ask you about like Metroid, and Fallout never came up.
Yeah. I was going to talk about Metroid on maps too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, we'll have to pick your brain on Metroid another time. So you brought it up before.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And BattleTech and all that stuff. So
BattleTech. I wish they would do more of that, but
yeah,
that's
I got Robotech right here.
Right.
I have that book.
Yes.
I have the exact book.
It's
yeah.
Robotech.
Oh, nerds.
Yeah. Nerds.
Yep.
That's beautiful though.
It is beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is the classic Veritech.
Yeah. This is that's very cool. I have another one that's just as Zentradi's.
Like art like this anymore.
I don't think I have that one. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I have the main books. I don't have like the slimmer books.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know that's the SDF. Anyways, but we appreciate you all being here as always, as we gawk and look at all these wonderful books. And we're probably, after we're done, we're going to go look at some, because he brought a lot of stuff.
I brought stuff. It's not even all out here.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that stuff, because it's like you are a connoisseur of these. And one of these days, maybe we'll have to play a campaign or two.
Or hell, it's a 1-shot or a 3-shot.
Yeah.
If something like a 1-shot or some kind of campaign is something you'd like to see us do, let us know.
As an extra.
As like a little extra live stream thing or what have you. Let us know in the comments.
And if you have a preference for genre, if that were the case, let us know that too.
Sci-fi.
We would have to dress up as our characters.
Oh my God.
That might be a bridge too far for me.
I can't get that many boobs.
And with that, we are Bards and Balladeers. I am Kate.
Hold on a second. You're doing a great job. Sorry. I just want to do a few administrative things. I just want to let you guys know that we do have a Bards and Balladeers store, which we do sell these cups and these little koozies. So if you're looking to help support us, it does do, as everybody takes a drink, it does do a great job of just helping. You can get something for it. As always, like and subscribe. It helps us get found by other people. The algorithm favors that kind of stuff, especially when you comment and things like that.
Please send this to your friends who you think would like it. We're trying to get 100 subscribers. That's our next goal here.
Yeah. We also have a Discord too. It's a good way to keep in contact with us on a normal basis. We'll post dumb memes and stuff there all the time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. We posted some of our cats, I think.
I think so. Yeah. So if you like cats,
you like cats. So
it's a good place to go.
We appreciate it. And then back to you.
We are Bards and Balladeers. I am Kate.
I am Rio.
I'm Oscar.
You've been great. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.